Or did I add? Oh, I did.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I think
can't
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
you.
I think I added Perla twice here accidentally.
I hear you.
Loud and clear.
Okay.
Me too.
Sorry, I'm just adding the Drip New Zealand right now.
There's an echo.
Okay, you guys ready? I think.
Yep.
Let's see. Are we live?
Yep.
I think we're live.
Are we live? Can you guys see on your end? We are? Okay, great. Okay, I'm
We are
Thank
we are live.
you.
We're live.
Oh my goodness, we got our group. We still might have one or two people joining, but I'm so excited. Welcome to Crypto Professor Girls channel. It is devoted to cryptocurrency, decentralized finance, and drip community. And today we have the amazing Women in DeFi series, part number 2. And I would like to thank all our speakers who agreed to come. So I'm going to give people just maybe a couple of minutes to introduce themselves, especially since we have some new faces, some new speakers. So go ahead, guys. Maybe Susy, you'll start. You okay with that in the order?
It's an echo. Are you talking to me? Sorry.
Yes.
Oh, what? Hi, hi, everybody. It's so nice to be here. It's so much exciting things going on.
Susy, can you introduce yourself, like very briefly?
Oh, like when I started or what?
Or just a couple of sentences about yourself, pretty much.
Okay, I love drip.
I love that. I love that, Susy. You're awesome.
Yeah. Well, I was introduced to financial instruments by my father years ago, and then I I found out about Bitcoin. Couldn't buy at that time. It was very hard to do it. There was um, n- not we didn't have this. Uh, abilities to go to a computer, and you have to go like the dark web or something like that. And then I started to learn about crypto. I started trading. I started to learn trading and I then but I did trading mostly in crypto. No, no, a lot of stock options. But then it's like I progressed to one thing to the other. Uh, I was I learned trading about 1 year, and then self talk with YouTube and other places, and then I learned about DeFi, and sorry, my English is not very good when I speak.
No, your English is just fine, Susy. No problem at all.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm so excited. I can't even sleep. I'm I'm like Forex. I can't sleep. And then, well, I learn about uh, about these platforms and went to some rocks as everyone here, and then I wanted to find a place that I could be at peace with a dev that was honest, and I found forex. And I think we know about it now. Uh, we know forex and how it could change our lives, my life, because it's like Stana Breezy today or yesterday uploaded a tweet. I was thinking a video, but now it was a tweet that he says, I have an echo, so I'm sorry. I have
No,
a little
it's okay.
delay.
Yeah, don't worry.
So Stana says in the tweet, how nice is to wake up to see that your assets are there and you're not robbed.
Yeah.
And
Great.
that's forex.
Thank you so much. Thank you for putting a nice word for a good developer here. And thank you for introducing yourself.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and go to Cosmo. This is her first time joining us. So Cosmo, go ahead, introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Cosmo, I don't think we can hear you.
Has that?
Okay.
Sorry, Hi, I'm Cosmo. I got into crypto back in 2020, and I originally got into mining. Got into mining, getting rewards from mining, got into nodes, getting rewards from nodes, and I've done lots of trading too. And then Drip came along, and I think Drip changed the landscape of how crypto has been and will be forever, which we are eternally grateful. And since then, I've got into a couple of other projects as well. And it's all about the developer that you're in with. And it's not necessarily the project, but if you believe that the developer is ethical and is doing the right thing for a sustainable ecosystem that they're building, go with it, because DeFi's had some pretty rough patches over the last 12 months. And I have been in Ted C's couple of developments. The first one is Daylight, which is a coin that has an ever-increasing floor price. So even though the price of it goes up and down, the floor price gradually increases. So over time, you are guaranteed to actually make profit on your money. And he's also made another coin called Galaxy Apollo, and Apollo can never go down in price. And this is brilliant. And Apollo is basically a bit better than Drip, as it doesn't need extra funds funneling into it all the time to keep the price going. It's an ever increasing price, and when you actually stake your money, you already know at the end of the term what your max wallet is. It doesn't increase, but the only way you can get to your max wallet is if you compound each day. So the game theory is still behind it. And that's great. And he's got another launch coming out on most people's Friday night, but it's my Saturday night here in Australia. And that's Moonlight. And he's got a NFT and a farm that's coming, which I cannot wait to join that too. Yeah, and I basically just love crypto every day. Something new, something fascinating.
So Cosmo, you found a couple of other projects, Apollo and Daylight, that, and maybe we can talk a little bit more about other projects, because I did prepare some questions, but thank you so much for introducing yourself. I did notice that something is happening with some of our other members. It seems that Perla is frozen from what I'm seeing. Perla, can you hear us? Okay. Unfortunately, I don't know what's going on. Irene looks frozen too. Drip Girl, can you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yes, of course. Hi, everyone. I am Drip Girl. Per the name, you might guess I am a Drip and 4X maxi over here. So that is where I am invested in his projects. So I found crypto and kind of started exploring in, it's been almost 2 full years now. But when I found 4X and saw his projects, took a look at Drip towards the end of 2021, that's where I just felt the safest and most secure in just kind of starting my larger investments into crypto. So I've been here. Then I decided that I would kind of document my journey and all the things that I've been learning. So you can find me on Twitter at DripGirlCrypto, and on YouTube I have a channel that I try to keep up with as much as I can. Hopefully I'll be able to be doing more videos in the future. But yeah, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube.
Thank you so much, Drip Girl. Thank you for joining us. Drip New Zealand, hello. Can you hear me?
Good morning, good morning. Kia ora
Good
koutou. Hello, dear lovely people. I'm seeing you from your tomorrow. It's Monday morning here in New Zealand. Look, lovely ladies, I got involved in crypto from one of a good friend of mine, Kelly Snook, who is a rocket scientist, believe it or not, was a rocket scientist at NASA. And she created her own crypto calculator for the Drip network system. And she helped me and some of our people here on board to create wallets and just to get into the faucet to slowly compound each day. One of the things that we really want to try and achieve, because our region has been hammered by cyclones and damages, so we need to try and find additional ways of creating incomes for ourselves online. And so crypto I see as a way of doing that. I'm a little dripster, so I'm just beginning. I got involved in September last year. I've helped create quite a few wallets for many of our loved ones initially, and some of our people who are interested. So what we're hoping is that it's a way to create additional incomes for ourselves, and who knows, eventually we might be able to give up the full day job. Wouldn't that be wonderful? So I love the drip system in particular because of the community. The price of drip, when you follow it every day, it does you hidden. So don't follow the price every day. It's about the long term, and it's about supporting the other ecosystem around it. But what rules within drip is the community. So kia ora.
Thank you so much, Drip New Zealand. Thank you for joining us second time. Drip New Zealand. Thank you for joining us second time. I think somebody has their YouTube channel on. I think Susy might have. Susy, can you please go ahead and turn off your mic?
No, I'm having trouble. I'm having some echo.
Do you have us playing in the background? Like
No,
you have
no,
another video open?
I got it. Now it's okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's go.
I'm not sure, but Perla and Irene are shown on my screen as frozen, so I'm not sure what's going on. Hopefully they can join us later. Maybe I'm gonna switch to a different streaming software. I don't know.
It's okay.
Hence, we're having some technical difficulties. I just wanted to hear what you guys thought about. So we had this recent large banks trouble, right? So the U.S. government, the Feds, actually decided to rescue the Silicon Valley Bank, right, from failing. Like they stepped at the 11th hour, right,
Yeah.
to rescue. And stop maybe they wanted, I guess, people to have trust in the US banking system. There are troubles brewing with some other banks, Credit Suisse, I believe. So we had some news about uh, troubles, I guess, troubles with the traditional banking system. So some people are writing on Telegram groups, on Twitter groups, saying that, well, maybe this is going to be a really big push for people to go into DeFi because they would feel that maybe banks are not as trustworthy as they originally thought. Um, Now, I know that a very international community, so banking system is not uniform across different countries. I know that in the United States, all the deposits up to $250,000 are insured. So meaning, and the statistic shows that average Americans don't really have such large deposits in traditional savings or checkings accounts. So in traditional savings, it is estimated that an average American family has between $3,000 to $5,000 in savings. So they might not even care whether or not banks fail or not, since their deposits are insured. FD, right, insured. So what are your thoughts about it? Do you think that perhaps an average Joe might be motivated to move their money from traditional banks into crypto, or maybe even one step further into DeFi, given the banking situation?
I,
Like, what are your friends and family are saying? What are you guys thinking yourself about it? Thank you.
I think what happened last week was possibly one of the best things that could have ever happened for crypto. When the American banking system stepped in and saved Silicon Valley Bank, it actually stopped a bankroll from happening. Now, that could have caused a domino effect that could have been massive and widespread. But within 5 days, disaster had been averted, and it actually, Silicon Valley holds the most of USDT. USDT Tether, and it has
6%, I think, right, Cosmo, if I'm not mistaken.
yeah, it's a huge amount. But since the banking system has stepped in, that's guaranteed that Tether will never fall over again. That solidifies how good crypto is in the world of traditional banking, and that's only a positive for everybody in crypto. It was as horrible as it is to say that a bank nearly fell over. It's been one of the best events that's actually happened this year. Yeah.
I have a thought. I mean, just overall sentiment, I will say it's like people are freaked out to know that their money in the bank is like potentially not there, really. Um, I know that, they stepped in and helped out, but how many banks? There was another collapse right after that, of a different bank. And I think it just gets people thinking that, where they think they can put their trust with finance and traditional banking isn't as solid as people want to think it is. Like there's a lot of moving parts going behind the scenes and how that's being managed. And just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. And I think when something like this happens, it gets people to really think about where their money is being held. Like, how much money do you have just sitting in the bank, or how much do you have in your retirement fund, or where else have you diversified your funds? And I personally, just from certain YouTubers that I follow outside of the crypto community, have even started to just say that they invested a little bit of their funds like into Bitcoin, or they're just turning and looking to crypto and looking at it as another option. We already saw that the price increased in Bitcoin over that weekend when that happened, and it's continuing to go up from where it was at. So I do think that it's just opening people's eyes into, as you were saying, just the more average person to think about it.
And the traditional banking system has never been as instantaneous as what crypto is. We expect our funds to basically get transferred instantly, within minutes. Sometimes it might take half an hour if the blockchain's full. But the traditional banking system, you could pay somebody on a Friday evening and it wouldn't hit their bank account until Monday. And it took time. Well, now banking customers are expecting their money instantly. There's going to be a shift, a huge shift.
Yeah, here, well, I live in Argentina. That's a lot to say. The inflation that United States is having now is nothing for us. Um, this We are having 105% inflation now in Argentina, so that you get a clue of what is this country to live here. But for us, it's common. It's not that it's easy, but we are like we were born in inflation and in this banking system that you cannot trust. uh, we 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 we've been I'm trying to remember the year, uh, but well, we have our savings in the bank, and the government, mm, we had it in dollars, and suddenly from one day to another the government said, okay, now you have Argentinian pesos. You don't have any more dollars. When they took our dollars, they gave us pesos, and we only old people of certain age. I guess it was 80 years old, and beyond. They could took some amounts by the week, like something like that. It was terrible. Even you know who was in our banking system and got caught for with that was Michael Saylor.
Oh,
He had millions here and
wow.
got caught, but this we in Argentina call the corralito. It's like when the ships are in a place that are hold that can get out. Um, so I know about banks, and I don't trust them, of course. And that's one of the reasons why I went to crypto, because I had to find someplace else, especially not that to move the money out of Argentina. Of course, it's a great thing to get the money out of this country, but not. But the thing is that I don't trust banks. I have most of my money in crypto now in USD, and some other blue chips, a little Bitcoin, a little another BNB. And when I need to do some shopping or pay some bills or whatever, I I transfer some USD to an application here in Argentina, change it for pesos, and use it. And I'm telling you this because what is happening in the United States, as in the world, is what's happened all of my life here in Argentina. You cannot trust banks. And people, and I think what is happening is people don't learn or understand or want to see what really is happening until it happens to them. If you tell them, oh look, the trust, you cannot trust banks, and but people say, nah, well, my money's there. They move like, I don't know. But I don't want to be tough. But so people have to go through things to wake up, as Cosmo said, and to wake up. Sometimes you have to go through these tough things. And so the things that is going through the banks now all over the world, the United States is not the only place that is going on this thing. um, is because this bank system has to go to be replaced for a new system. Crypto is one of them. I think the biggest, but it's very early. So that's why I think that people have to pass through this, maybe through a shock or through something to wake up and say, okay. And then when you're in crypto, in well, we are lucky to have forex, so we can trust. But it's like Cosmo said, it's like Michael said or always said, it's fast, it's secure, it's in the blockchain. You can change it, you can corrupt it. It's like it's what the Piggy Plinko is gonna be so huge, and on everything that forex does, that he always show the way that you can trust, because it's on chain and is trustworthy. In that way you cannot corrupt or manipulate, as happens with the stock market or a lot of places. Sorry, I'm being too long.
No, that's okay.
And
I think Perla is back. Perla, can Perla's Cafe, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Thank you for joining. Sorry, I don't know for whatever technical difficulty in the beginning that it kicked you out,
Oh
but
no. I think it
yeah,
was on my end.
maybe. Maybe you can introduce yourself and also let us know what you think about this bank issues that were happening for the past week.
Yeah, so my name is Perla, and I have a small YouTube channel called Perla's Crypto Cafe. That's why you see my name that's so long. Um, but no, I started in Drip 2021. Yeah. So at the end of the year, started, small bag, and then just kind of started, kept building it. And was it 2022 in July is when I started my YouTube channel. It's primarily focused on the Spanish speaking community, because when I started, there wasn't really much Spanish speaking content, and to this point, there's not much. So I wanted to get, our community, our Spanish speaking community, to know what Drip is, what the whole Forex ecosystem is, and yeah, that's where I started. Thanks to the ladies of the faucet. Shout out to Lady Mania and Ants Girl, that that really gave me a lot of confidence to get that started. And yeah, pretty much that's been my journey till now. As far as the SVB banking situation, I think it's unfortunate that we've seen that throughout time we can't really trust banks, and now with this, that we see that it's more evident, it can't trust them even more. So especially for us, that we have smaller bags, it kind of really makes you think, what am I going to do? What are my next steps? Because we just truly cannot trust a bank. So for, crypto is going to be, we've seen that it's the solution. Although, at least in my community, with the Latino community, it's we've never really trusted the banks, but crypto is more kind of speculative, and there's really has to be a lot of education there to take that step there. But yeah.
The basic downfall with the banking system is that $1 is spent twice in two different directions. And that is the fundamental flaw with our current banking system. Crypto, you can only spend one coin in one direction. It can only ever be an asset or a liability. It cannot be both at one time.
Personally, hi again, ladies. I think it's great, because many of us know how screwed up the banking system is and how we're all ripped off from it. Okay, we all know about that. We just haven't been able to do anything about it. And now we have crypto, we have DeFi, and it's now our jobs to try and explain and show people and teach people what that is and how to get on board, because there's a lot of people that are completely over the banks, just don't quite know how to get on board with cryptocurrencies. It's very, very scary. There's so many around, but if we can, in our own little ways, start with the ones around us. Teach them, how do you make your little drip wallet? I only speak of drip because that's all I know about, okay? But how do you set up your little wallet? How do you get your MetaMask done? How do you join to the Binance or the other exchanges? And just help them onboard, even onboard the wallet for them. Get them to do their MetaMask and then transfer the drip to them. So those are the types of things I'm doing, and this is the perfect time for us to help others onboard and get protected within the crypto DeFi space.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah.
So I really liked the last point that Drip New Zealand just made about, how can we help others to get into the DeFi space. And one of the issues with DeFi space that it's very complex, right? So I think a lot of people that are in crypto, they might have mastered how to buy. For example, BTC, right? Maybe they go to Coinbase, maybe they go to Binance, and people learn how to buy, and more people are trading now also, maybe without leverage, but just trading, just maybe buying and selling. But DeFi requires lots more skills than that, right? It's not just, buying on Binance or Robinhood and then selling, then buying back. It's more complex, like Drip New Zealand just mentioned. You have to learn the wallet. You have to learn how to transfer to the wallet. Now a lot of people are having problems with MetaMasks, maybe switching to another wallet. There are soft wallets, there are hard wallets. So there are so many different steps. And I recently actually saw in Telegram groups that a couple of individuals that are 80 are actually in DeFi, 80 years old. And I thought, wow, that's pretty impressive. But because probably a lot of 20 and 30-year-olds would even, struggle with some aspects. So how can we make it simpler? And do you guys think that it's a significant barrier of why people are not getting into DeFi? Because it just requires a lot of kind of like...
Definitely.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's a barrier for sure, but I think with that comes keeping yourself accountable. Like, people, I don't think are used to being so accountable for like the safety of their funds. They just, expect it to be there and no one to hack them. And I don't know, I just think there's like a layer of self accountability that has to be taken when you take that step to know that like you're in charge of this, and you have to know like how to do it and what you're doing and to do it right, so you protect what you have. But I just think that that's actually what makes it that's what sets it apart, though, is other people aren't managing your money, you are. So it's like taking that accountability, but it's a positive thing. You get to be in control of what happens to it,
Exactly.
how safe it is, where you put it. And so I think that's a huge plus. But people seem to be a little hesitant about that, scared of that. But I think if they just understood how to do those steps, so back to your point, Drip New Zealand, that like just coaching them to show them that
Yeah.
like this is how you do it, you know, so you're not out here feeling like you're alone and vulnerable with it. Like you know what you're doing, but know that it is on you to make sure that that happens and stays safe.
Yeah. Yes. I think education is the most important thing, especially for newbies, and there's crypto has a very bad reputation now, and you have to, and that's I think why people are very scared, because there I think there are two things. They're scared because it has a bad reputation of being a scam, and other people have the opposite, that I'm going to crypto and I'm going to be a millionaire by day
Online.
and or by night, I don't know. But so I think that to education is the most important thing. I'm still working in making a MetaMask tutorial, and now I started a Rabi wallet tutorial in English and Spanish at the same time. It's not. It has no
Awesome.
narrative. Yeah, thank you. It's only text. So when you see it, you go, you can rewind it or go forward and pause it, and you can read it at your time, because timing for this kind of tutorials is very difficult for me to. I cannot put a timing for everybody. Sometimes some people read slower and faster, so I put a disclaimer about the timing, but um, so I think now I'm using Ravi now instead of MetaMask, and it's faster, it's easier, and a lot of things. But we have to start teaching people. Teaching people and showing them that you can be in this space safely if you learn. If you learn some um, very important things, like don't show your or share your seeds, some pointers that are basic in crypto, so you don't get scammed. But everybody can get scammed. But for in the I think Forex does this every all the time, because he always shows how he can trust, how people can trust him, and he shows how, no because he says it to us. He shows how you can trust this. So I think that people like us that know or been through this school uh, can if we can share this our knowledge by being here. This is some kind of I think a lot of education for people.
Could I just
Um,
add there, Susie? Could I just say,
see,
look,
yeah,
DeFi Dialogues just mentioned that, like, he invited friends over for a cookout and then set up the MetaMask. Now, I love that, because how we operate back home is we learn by doing. Like
yeah,
sometimes you get these tutorials and they're mind-boggling. You've got to go back 100 pages, or But when you actually just sit there and do it and physically take them through it, it's so much easier, it's so much faster, as long as you just show the steps. So I was just wondering, would anyone, or could we maybe do like a Zoom session and maybe have
That'd be
yeah,
two or
fun.
three people that we wanted to onboard, and then put them through the process, because I've done it with Kelly and I saved that video, but I keep going back to that video, but I'm not sure, is that safe for us to do if we had two or three people that we wanted to onboard and do a Zoom together? Is that safe, or I wasn't
I think,
sure.
yeah,
why
I think
not?
it is safe, right? I mean, I would say I've done. one-on-one kind of sessions with either through Zoom or through FaceTime, and I would share my screen with them, and they would share their screen with me. And when it's time for them to, like, write down their secret phrase, or do the password, you can stop the screen sharing, for example. So because you said, like, is it safe, so that you wouldn't know their information. But yeah, I think it's okay. I think it's more difficult if you have, like you said, multiple people. I prefer to do it one-on-one, but I do think that it's safe as long as you are not picking, looking at their secret phrase, or they're not telling you their password.
Yeah.
And
But it's
just to
a great idea.
kind of piggyback on that, um, probably the one-on-one is maybe best because they feel a little more secure. I've had a few that come in and they're in the Drip en Español chat, and they're like, Perla, can I message you privately? I need some help setting up my ledger, and we privately DM, and it is it is very, how would you say it,
Time
taking
consuming.
yes, it is, but at the end, at least I feel very very good because I'm helping this person that I don't know, because a lot of them just use avatars. I'm like, I don't know, but they're keeping their crypto safe, which is awesome. And having a video tutorial is good, but then you kind of also want that human interaction, like a
Yeah.
one-on-one thing. Hey, can I message you again? Even it was I helped someone out, and it was this on the ledger. They forgot to do the blind signature. I'm like, what's going on? I can't get into my MetaMask. I can't get have my drip is just not connecting. Why can't I hydrate? So we had to go through the whole step again, and that's what we found out, that it was because of the blind signature. And sometimes you don't get that on tutorials or videos.
That's what I'm trying to do. And I'm learning. I'm teaching my friend and her husband, and it's like, if I started to teach them. I set up their MetaMask and everything, and give them the seed phrase and everything. They can trust me. And then, but they have to put the time in learning, because when I go visit them, or we arrange okay, we're gonna to meet, and you're going to teach me, and I go, and it's so much information for one session. Okay,
Yeah.
so I start with MetaMask, and then I okay, you need to put a token, then you have the address, and sometimes it's too much information for one session, and I'm moving like step by step. Uh, Now, last night, yesterday, I guess, Ricky uploaded the Piggy Plinko translation I made for Spanish,
That
for
was
the
awesome. Yep.
the Deep Wiki, and I sent it to my friend. I said, "This is in Spanish. Now you can read it, because there's so much information, but it is in English. My friend doesn't know English, so I sent it to her and said, "Okay, you read it, because when I go to your house and I talk, I try to teach you. It's too much information for me to start all over, and you get tired. It's okay,
Yes.
because I'm all the time here. I'm interacting with this all the time. It's kind of my life now, and but she's not. So maybe, I think that a Zoom, or a class, for people that really want to learn, but because people,
Especially when we're trying to utilize the ecosystem. So for
yeah,
newbies, when we're
yeah,
still learning, we don't quite know how to use the animal farm or utilize
Yeah.
drip into these other areas. So how do we correctly do it? Because we're a bit scared to move our money, move our tokens around, because I've bought AFP and they don't even know where it is. So
Yeah,
it's so lovely to
and
have different basic tutorials or Zooms together with a group of us. If anyone was interested, I would be.
yeah, me too. Come to
Definitely.
me.
And whenever I've onboarded friends, I always say, I'll give you a week to play around with it. You go and just get a feel for it. And then when I come back later, they're actually, because they've interacted with the interface, because they've interacted with their wallet, they're a little bit more aware of what concepts you're trying to teach them. And then it's this, that second meeting, the penny drops. You go,
Yeah.
that's what you were talking about. Yeah, or they've got questions for you. Once someone's got questions, you know that they're thinking on the right page.
Also directing them to different YouTubers. That's what I do as well.
Yeah.
Go and watch this and learn.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Absolutely. Yep. And there's a lot of YouTubers that that have a lot of great information and how tos, and you just watch them over and over. I find myself watching everybody's videos over and over again because sometimes you just miss that little that little detail and that's the reason why something doesn't click.
Yeah.
Anybody else? So we have, if our goal is to bring more people into DeFi in general and maybe more women into DeFi specifically, right? So there are these two big issues. The DeFi is complex, and basically your argument is that, well, it's our job to be educators of those people, and we should do more hand holding, and we should really try to educate others around us and simplify the process of getting into DeFi and help other people. And then DeFi is dangerous, right? And some of that theme was also mentioned in comments. Like there are lots of rug pulls.
Yeah.
Some people lost money at FTX and so on and so forth. So, and some of you also alluded by saying, well, there are some safe communities, like for example, Drip and Animal Farm. There are some others. I'm really big Drip. I would consider myself a Drip maxi, but I'm also open to other projects as well. And some of you mentioned other projects that you're in, but the idea here is that you do want to trust the community, right? And a lot of us found that specifically Drip and Animal Farm community, not only that we trust the developer, but we're also trusting the community, because the community really stepped up with many different projects that were built on top of the Drip. And so two issues, right? The safety and the complexity. And I think you guys really summarized those issues really well, which kind of, I guess, a segue. So a lot of us are in the Drip and Animal Farm community, but are you guys part of any other communities? I think that Cosmo said that she's doing Daylight and Apollo, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if anybody wants to speak about anything else they're doing besides the Drip and Animal Farm.
Oh, well, I will speak about Daylight and Apollo all day, so I'll keep it quick. There, DeFi, crypto in general, it's a community thing when you're actually thinking about investing. Whereas your traditional investments, it was always such a secretive, keep it close to you, keep your cards close to your chest. Crypto's a whole different kettle of fish. The wheel has been reinvented, and you don't do anything alone. You do things as a community. Your developer or team of developers actually wants many people on board their projects and developments. And it's a complete different mindset to how you do traditional investing. And any developer that sees an issue within their projects, who actually attempts to fix the problem and make their project bulletproof, better for the community, better in the long run, have to give them trust. Forex does it. He does it great. It just takes time. Ted C is another one of my favourite developers who actually puts a human face to his projects. He's out there, he's doing YouTubes, he's actually talking in Discord, he's talking on Telegram, he's actually making himself available to people to onboard on his projects. And he's actually invented two solid, what I would call solid projects. Daylight is brilliant. The price of daylight, you farm daylight, so you add your LPs together. But the value of daylight can go up and down like any coin, but each day the floor price slowly rises by 1%. So if you actually watch it over a long time, it'll go up like a hockey stick. So the longer you are in daylight, you are guaranteed break even or profits at a particular point in time. So that in itself is brilliant, just brilliant. And it's not a rip-off of the Pistons or the Steppens, which tried to rip off Drip. It's a new concept. Ted C's other project is Apollo Galaxy Apollo, and that is brilliant too. You stake your Apollo, but as soon as you've staked your amount, you know what your max payout is, which takes roughly 9 months to get your payout. And every day you have to interact, and every day you have to compound. So it's got the game theory behind it. And if you're into DeFi, you're on your computer at least once a day, interacting with your Drip UI. You're actually looking at the market. You're actually seeing what's going on. So it makes no difference if you swap from one project to the next. And the payouts are incredible. And Apollo never goes down in price. So even if you just keep it in your wallet, you are guaranteed that that will never lose value. That coin will never lose value. And that's just brilliant for people like Susy that live in Argentina and are dealing with 105% inflation. To know that you're not going to lose value on a coin, that's a no-brainer. Yeah.
Okay. So you are in Apollo Galaxy and Daylight, in addition to the Drip ecosystem. Okay. Thank you for describing those projects for us. What about the rest of the panel? Are you guys in anything else, in any other communities?
Nope.
No, strictly Animal Farm and Drip.
Only Animal Farm and Drip. Okay.
You know, especially for me, because I've been in the crypto space 2 years now, so it's not so much. So I did initially go into one of those meme coins, and we all know how that went. And I tried, and I tried a Time Wonderland, and that that was my biggest. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
So I did lose on that one. I ended up taking my loss and put it into Drip. So at least we'll get something out of that someday. But yeah, no, I learned my lesson, and just I'm sticking to this ecosystem.
Yes, yeah. I think I really do want to be open and inclusive here, but I do want to, since we are part of all of us are part of the Drip community, I do want to say that this, I think it's a really, I want to speak specifically about Drip. I do think that it's a brilliant protocol in the sense that it never stops for almost, I think it's the birthday is coming up, I think 23rd of April, if I'm not mistaken, right? For almost 2 years, we've got 1% daily, and it never failed to deliver. So I've been in some other, and I am in some other protocols where, for example, like your money gets locked up, and there are some additional changes that are instituted later, and now suddenly you're not getting the 1%, but you're getting much less, or I'm in this one protocol where like your money is essentially locked up and you can't even get it out. Like only 3 people per day can get their money out. So
Yeah.
I think what Drip's done, it's amazing in terms of what it was able to deliver. I'm sorry, Susie.
No, no, no. No, I was listening to you.
Okay,
I was listening.
okay, I thought you were saying something. So,
Mm.
um, yeah, I
One
think
thing
this
I'd
is
like
really
to add,
powerful.
one
Oh,
thing I wouldn't
sorry, go
mind
ahead.
adding is that with the drip community, because a lot of us, well, look, I'm in drip and on farm, and I'll probably go into the Pinky Pronko and the DDDs and just try them out. Apparently, that's going to support the ecosystem. But why am faithful to drip at this stage is because of the community. Because if shit hits the fan, all right, then many of us who have lots of experience will then tell us about the next possible coin or Apollo or daylight that also works. So by keeping our communities together and keeping informing each other, uh, just in the case Animal Farm plonked out, we then will know something else that is a bit more sturdier, perhaps. So that's the power of our community to help guide us and lead us.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
if I can, I would like
yeah.
to. I was listening to Forex AMA that this week that he introduced the web for the Piggy Plinko, and he said something, a lot of things that are incredible, but something specific that I love that he says, uh, if if someone copy the open source code of Piggy Plinko, um, they can do it the same because they don't have the community, and they don't have, there was two things, I don't remember the second one, but the ecosystem, it was like, it's like these three things is you have to have the three together. Without one of them it doesn't work, because the piggy plinko is too attached to the ecosystem because of the AFP and AFD, and then because of the community, is a very, very important part of this. That's what I want to say.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Susie. I wanted to add, so a lot of people in the comments kept saying the community. It's not just how clean a nice protocol is, but the community. The community matters a lot. And I hear it across multiple of you guys saying that community really matters. And I guess I just wanted to give a shout out to the community, right, in general, because
Yeah.
Yep.
the community has done a lot, right?
Yep.
Thank you to all of you and us, right?
Woo!
Um, and all of you guys contribute uh, a lot to the community. I know I see a lot of you guys in Telegram, on Twitter. Susie S became a star of Twitter Spaces. So we have a lot of people that are really involved and are doing a lot for the community, sharing the knowledge. And I'm really impressed that also over maybe last several months, how many things are built on top of Drip. For example, I'm going to get accolades for my own people here for the guardians of the reservoir. We worked really hard with the Drip girl being another guardian
Yep.
here.
That's awesome too.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. Also, drop lead guys,
Yeah.
build on top of drip and burn some drip. I think that they're also working really hard for the community. There are, and then DDD. I mean, it was
DDD.
started by the community before it was brought to Forex as well, and we're all waiting for the DDD to come out. But it was started by the members of the community. People are doing a lot of things, and I just mentioned a few, not all, but there are more things, right? And at some point, I even thought if something even happens to Forex, or he does, he stops delivering at all, or he gets sick or whatever, I feel like the community will still carry the project. Because
Definitely.
where we are.
Yeah.
Totally.
I mean,
think
he
that's
even
real strength too, is that knowing that, and that we have legitimate like whales who are in this ecosystem because of Drip and the way that it was built, and they started this community that we have now, which is so huge and passionate. And they are not going to those whales that we have too. Like Drip is like what made them huge in their own bags. Like they're not gonna let it go down, and they have tons of money. Like I just think, like, it's just a time coming out of such like a bear market that we can have these hesitations, but it's like I just don't see that happening for Drip in general. And in addition to the community strength that we have, all of the innovation going on is insane. Like I've never seen the innovation to the depth in the community, from any other projects, like taking that into their own hands, not just relying on the main developer to do it. But I think people, I mean, obviously you see the FUD, like people will FUD 4X even today, but I just think he sees the bigger picture in what he's creating. And that's why he's spending a lot of focus right now on Animal Farm, but like what they're creating, and I really think that Piggy Plinko is going to be insanely huge in onboarding people to not only Animal Farm and the ecosystem, but to crypto in general. Once everything, people can just plug in and play, and start making money, like they're gonna want to get in. And once it's easy with the fiat on ramp, off ramp stuff, I just think it's gonna be bigger than we all know. And once new eyes are on the Animal Farm, they're gonna find Drip, they're gonna find the ecosystem. So it's just another tactic. So it's not like forgetting about Drip. No, it's building out the whole thing and seeing the shiny penny right now, which is that game that's going to get people interested and looking and in this space. And they're going to find all of the things attached to his name. They will. So I just think it's requiring a little bit more patience than everyone wants. I mean, we're all in the same boat with wanting to see prices change today, right now. But it's just a matter of letting the process continue on and putting that trust, as we were talking earlier, into the people who have created these genius things, knowing that they do know what they're doing and they have intent to do what they said they would. So we're seeing that. We've seen the fruit of that. And I think a lot of the challenges we talked about with people being onboarded to DeFi and it being complex. And I think with time as well, those things are becoming easier. Like we're having more options, like we just said. There's different things for MetaMask. There's different ways to start doing some of this now. And I believe it's just going to get easier and easier. The fiat on-ramp, off-ramp is going to be more accessible. So I think some of the challenges that we're seeing now is really because, you guys, we're pioneering this. The amount of people in crypto in general, or DeFi on its own, is so small. Like we are so the forerunners of this, and I think it's easy to forget that. Like some of us, this is like our first jump into it, so we've only been in for like a year or 2 years. But there are like so many people who still don't even really trust Bitcoin, or they don't know about that yet. So it's like we have so much room to grow, and this whole platform and all the resources that are going to go into helping the average person get in and understand all the videos. We do need to be a part of that. I'm not saying it's just all going to happen when someone else does it. We need to be a part of that, like we're saying.
Yeah.
Having those conversations, teaching people, making the videos, helping out. But I do think that with time and more people involved, it's going to just become easier too, because that's just how it works. But
absolutely.
That was very nice.
And any project that's making money in a bear market, when the bull run starts, people will jump on board. Like,
Yep.
that will be insane.
Yeah.
It's just time, just patience, just wait, it'll happen.
Yeah. And Forex is not just a developer; he's a creator, and
Genius.
and
Yeah.
yeah, genius,
Like
and
an
we
architect,
can,
right? Like an
yeah,
architect of the system.
and
Yeah.
he's an innovator, and he needs time because as uh, I'm sorry, a drip girl said, uh, he needs time, and I don't, sometimes I'm a very patient person, but sometimes when people fat forex and or tell forex what to do, it's like, what? Don't you don't can you cannot see, you can understand what this man is vision. He's amazing. Everything he it's in his mind. Today he wasn't sleep. He can't sleep because he was downloading ideas. The man is a creator. He's not just a guy that knows code, and I'm personally feel so blessed to have him because my father was a creator in music, but I can see the same. And my father needed space, he needed silence, he needed time, and he's one of the most important musicians in Argentina now. Well, all his life he passed away, but he was 100 years old when he passed away, and he had an 83-year career in music, but uh, but and I see that in forex, and I it's like when you have you humble to like he is, and the greatest are the artists, some people like Steve Jobs. You have to stay, listen, and learn from these geniuses. That's what I think.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, as Susie was saying also, like innovation does not necessarily have, well, any type of creative activity. It's kind of hard to put a schedule on it. I don't, if any of you guys in any type of creative activity, it's really hard to put like a hardcore schedule. Like by this date I'll create this and that. By that day I'll create this and this. So,
Yeah.
um, and I really like how you guys mentioned that he is really the architect or creator of the system. Um, Perla, did you have anything to add?
Oh no, I totally agree. I mean, I kind of feel guilty that I'm getting my beauty sleep and Forex is not sleeping.
Yes.
But hey, I guess sleep is for the weak. That what you said, right?
No.
But but
No, but I
but I
really,
think because he's so passionate. I totally understand him.
yeah.
When you're so passionate about Steve Jobs used to say that when you love what you do, that is, you don't consider that work, and that happens to my dad too. It's like a 24-hour thing that you do naturally because you can do it anyway. Another way is not like you're doing because you have to, for it doesn't have to do this. But I think he loves it so much that his passion brings him to the state of kind of to not sleep into the Driptopian Lee. Tell him, ask him, where do you going to sleep, and he answered, sleep is for the weak. That was Forex answer, and that's genius. I can't
Wow,
relate that much with this guy.
Yeah, and I
sleep
think
is overrated.
I don't know if I think he sometimes speaks like in a sarcastic kind of way, kind of being funny. He likes to engage his community, which is something
Yeah,
that I really, really, really enjoy about him. That he's in this chat, he's in that chat, kind of
yeah,
engaging, kind of giving teasers, and I really like his, his character, the way he expresses, and it's a lot of in the Spanish chat, I saw it a lot that people getting very very impatient. Why forex this, why forex that, and like what, give the man some time,
Mm-hmm.
and he will deliver. I mean, he's delivered before. He's not gonna stop delivering. So just give the man some time. He doesn't sleep for us. So let's just give him that grace to do what he needs to do.
Yeah. And he gives us and develops, he delivers, and it's for us. That's
Exactly.
the
That's right.
amazing thing. He
It's good,
does.
ladies. Look, I'm so sorry to jump in there, Susie.
No.
I have other missions. I'm so sorry. I have to disappear, so I had to say goodbye. They're good missions, though, very good missions. But before I leave, if anyone wants to think more about maybe some really basic zooms to like onboard pigs onto Animal Farm, for example. If anyone's interested in that, I'd
Yeah.
be really keen to do a Zoom and maybe record it so we can just do this step by steps to buy a couple of pigs
Yep.
or buy a couple of dogs or.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
you
cool.
know,
Yeah,
on
there's
Drip New
two
Zealand,
videos.
I've only got 2 videos so far, so I'm only learning. But please just reach out to me or Crypto Professor Girl. Maybe you could work something out, hey? Get us a
Okay,
couple of
Yeah.
okay.
Of course.
It's a good idea.
All
Yeah,
right.
thank you so much for joining
Thank
us,
you.
You're
Drip
most
New
welcome.
Zealand.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Take
yeah,
care.
Drip New Zealand has a
Bye.
channel, so please join her. Please join her channel,
Yeah.
subscribe, follow and like
Absolutely.
her.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
I wanted also, we are talking about like the timing and all the aspects related to creation, but I also thought that maybe we are also a little bit spoiled as investors.
Yes.
Um,
Absolutely.
Yes, yeah,
Absolutely.
A little bit, just a little bit.
A little spoiled.
yeah,
Yeah.
just a little bit
Yeah.
spoiled
Yeah.
because I was thinking, um, like back to maybe January of 2022, and I feel like, I go to my faucet, I'm like, and I have 12 faucet accounts, and I'm like, don't even, I don't even withdraw through from some of the small accounts, but I do have 3 larger accounts that I withdraw periodically, and I go there, I'm like, I'm just withdrawing like $300. I used to get thousands, and I'm like, but I'm like $300. Like that's a lot of money for some people. Some people in some countries, $300 is like their
It's a lot.
Yeah.
whole salary for a whole month.
Yeah.
So maybe we are a little bit spoiled with the way that things were in the bull market and at the all-time high of drip. But yeah, every day we go to our faucet, it still delivers. Just wanted to, yeah.
Drip just allows you to get into other projects. It actually allows you to spread your money and not just to have it in one place. It's brilliant. It's life-changing. And I got into Drip when it was about 4 months old, and I knew that the community in the Philippines had really embraced Drip, and there were people who could actually feed their families because of Drip.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
brilliant. And in the early days, I used to notice that Saturdays, the weekends, people would pull out their money so that they had money to spend on the weekends. It was great.
And there were so many stories in the pandemic that people couldn't go to work or lost their jobs, and forex. I remember he told several stories of families that were going to lose their houses, and they were and Drip saved them. It's
Yeah.
amazing. And he says he's just getting started. And I can't
Can you imagine?
yes, he said this is 2% of what he wants to do. If this is 2%, can you imagine what his mind is? If this what he already done is 2% only. My God, he reminds me.
I mean, we're certainly very early, which kind of brings me to another question that I wanted to pose. We talked a little bit about this in Syria in our first part, but a lot of people here in the comments said, salute to women in DeFi and thanks to women in
Hey.
DeFi. And so thank you for everybody for supporting us. But I also wanted to ask you, how can we bring more women into DeFi in general? Not specifically to Drip, but in general into DeFi. Of course, a lot of us are into Drip. Like, are there maybe specific things we can do? Like, how can we market it to more women?
This is my sentiment. Men feel like they should be the ones in control of the finances, but it's actually the women that actually grasp their head around what crypto is doing. And then as time goes on, I feel like out of a couple, it's more the female that takes over the investing side of things. That's just my little take.
And I think maybe there's a lot more women than we think. Just that a lot of us are hidden, you could say, kind of just lurk around because it is very male dominated. And you can see when you go into some chats that, their comments, their conversations, aren't the best, to say the least. But so I think that there are a lot of women, and encouraging them to, maybe going, and that is why it's something that Lady Mania and Ants Girl did very well. That they created this group where women feel safe. So I think
Yeah.
getting more
She's
like
here with us. She's
Hey,
here.
Ants. Hey,
shout
Ants
out.
girl.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, so just kind of letting women know, we have this community. You guys don't have to be, don't have to lurk in the shadows. You can come to our community and have a voice and feel, appreciated, and actually be able to speak. So that's one of the things that helped me a lot. Being part of that community of the ladies of the faucet community, that allowed me to, kind of encouraged me a lot.
I agree with that. I think that already having that kind of ladies of the faucet presence is huge. Like, there's just something to knowing that, like, there's other ladies in here too. I loved it personally when I first started and got invited into that chat. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, and it was just nice. I wasn't expecting it. But I don't know. And I I'm just, and maybe this will change over time, but I just feel like crypto and the DeFi world to me is like a joining of the business minds, people who just like are into business or finance and all of that, combined with like the gaming world. So to me, both of those are still kind of male dominant, like just on their own, and yet they combined. And now we have crypto and DeFi, and it's just like this perfect little marriage of those two things. But that being said, if that's kind of how it feels a little bit right now, I mean, for onboarding, I think that would be huge. Like any of the gaming spaces or discords, like I just think that that'd be a great place to. It just kind of seems like people understand it a little bit. They're more like savvy with some of the technology aspect of it, maybe. And I know that a lot of girls enjoy that, like the gaming and stuff. So, I mean, that's kind of a thing. But I would like to see over time, as it gets more widely adopted, that it maybe just, it won't feel like that as time goes on. But it just kind of does to me. So I think we're just in a phase of growth, and it's like feels like we're like the outlaws that are like, just out there and not afraid to dive in,
Yeah.
So it's like someone has to go first, and I feel like
Yeah.
us ladies, like it's really great to be on a call like this, just to see other faces and just from all walks of life in this, because it's not, that's what makes DeFi incredible, is it's not just for one person or one type of person. It's an opportunity for every single person to really, actually see some returns on the money that they've worked hard to earn. So I think that's what makes it incredible, and I think we're just pioneers right now, but I think it's gonna get bigger and it's gonna get more of a different vibe. But for now, I mean, we're riding the wave, is what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, super.
Thank you, Drip Girl. Definitely with you here. Um, I was thinking that you guys are right in terms of us being the pioneers, right? I almost felt, yeah, pioneers. But I think maybe it was Perla. I don't remember who made it. I really like the point that maybe the female community is bigger than what we suspect.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of women are lurking in the background and maybe are not very vocal. But certainly, I guess, we can continue and, hope that others will join us as well. And we definitely want to make this space safe and professional. We talked a little bit about that in part one, and I think that um, I do want to give credit to one special woman that I'm trying to bring to the Women in DeFi series, which is Kelly Snoop. Now, Kelly runs a really large Drip Rocket Science group on Telegram, and she actually developed a really cool calculator that was published on Medium, I think perhaps in August of 2021. And um, if I had not read it, if I had not read her article and looked at her calculator, I don't think I would have been in Drip. So I do give credit to another woman who brought me into DeFi. I don't think if I, without Kelly, I don't think I would be here. So, um, so hopefully all of us can influence some other girl, some other woman, right, and
Yeah.
bring them into crypto.
Yeah, but I still think that fear and disinformation is key, that we have to break in that place. My friend, she's my best friend, and she is is like, I trust you, and that's why I hear you, but I don't trust crypto. So the thing is, I am trying to, and I have another friend that I'm trying to get in it, and they know that I have spent years in this, and that I have my ups and downs, and they're still scared. But one of my friends, I started with a drip garden, uh, then from that I opened a little faucet, and from the faucet and from the garden, then I took. I'm like directing his her strategies, and then now, but in the way I'm showing, I'm teaching her, uh, like, okay, now you hydrate the faucet, and then with you get together some plants, and then we're going to split, and we're going to put the drip in the faucet, and with the BUSD we buy BNB for gas, or the other day we bought some dogs, so we put it in the linear so she can have free BNB for gas, and we're going like step by step. um, uh, it's not much money, but the thing is, she's learning, and I think that if you only feel fear from things that you don't know. When you have the knowledge, or you know, you go, you can have better decisions, and you can even have a leap of faith, if you know where you're going, or have at least a bit of knowledge uh, for making some decisions. So I think that women are very brave. They we've been through so many things, to be respected, to be seen, and a lot of things. And so the thing that they're coming to crypto, I don't think is a problem. I think it's just we have to spread the knowledge and dedication, and it's very early too. That is what I think.
Yeah, and actually with that, like it kind of brings me back to what Drip New Zealander was saying. What were you just saying, Susie? I lost my thought. About knowing stuff. Sorry, guys, I totally just lost my
It's
thought.
okay.
If it comes back, I'll chime in.
Oh,
Anybody else wants to add about how to bring women and more people into DeFi?
Oh yeah, okay, I remember. So just
okay.
the trusting, like I think
Yeah.
that you're right, you know, Susie, and it's like you can, at least for me, like I've been able to kind of talk with like some really close people of mine, to be able to kind of explain and walk through. But when it comes to like people that maybe I'm not as close to, just a lot of people, and I think just they want to see the money, like they want to see the
Yeah.
return. And I feel like, oh, it's been like we've talked about, but it's been like a long bear market. So you know, it's like there's hasn't been a lot of great news to share over the past year or so, and um, but after how much we've learned in this time, now it's even more like it gets me so crazy because I'm like, this is like literally the best time to invest is
Yeah.
now. When people are scared and when people don't trust it and they want to see it go up, and it's gonna go up, and when it does, then they'll be more interested in hearing. And it's just this cycle. It's like the human psychology. They want to see the money, so they want to see it climbing, and then they want to get in. And so I just think that, like, you know, we're a part of this cycle of the market cycle where we've learned like what we need to in this time. We now understand it. We can expose people to that. We can share with them. And I think the people that trust us the most, as just humans, will be like, okay, I trust you. But if they don't really know, then I feel like some of this is going to be they want hands-on learning, like uh, our New Zealand friend was saying, like you just gotta do it yourself, and sometimes that means learning the hard way, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But you know, I think that once people are like brave enough, as you mentioned, to just get started, and to if we can lead them correctly to do the DCAing in, so they don't just like put everything in at the top when they're finally ready to jump in. We can like teach them what we've been learning along the way so they don't get wrecked and hate crypto.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
teach them how to get involved when they're ready, but it's like trying to share it with them now when,
Oh.
although you look at the price and you're like, why do I want that? I don't get that, you know. And it's like, okay, you have to just live through it and learn the cycle, and then they'll get it, you know. But I do think it's going to take that time and trust built.
Yeah. In the case of my friend, is that she always says, "I trust you. I know that if you said this is okay, I trust what you're doing." But then comes her husband and says, "But how many dollars is she doing now?" And oh my god, I have to explain everything. And it's very when that's why I think knowledge, but not only knowledge is everywhere. If you want to find knowledge, you have YouTube, you have us, you have a lot of information. If you have the willing to learn. But if I have to tell them, oh, your plans are now, they were like $10 and now they're 10 cents because we're in a bear market, and I have to, and I have to tell them about what is a bear market, and they don't have the patience to understand all of the things, all of the components that are affecting the ecosystem and all the things, and what everything that is coming is going to affect too all the things that we know. And so that is when I said that they trust me, but they it's very very this ecosystem is very big to teach in one. If you are not like in regular mode learning. And if you don't have some kind of a background of information that what is blockchain, what is it cannot be corrupt, what is why if you do it right, this is safe. So you have to put your effort to learn the basics a little, and I teach them. I spend hours with them, but sometimes is now how many dollars are the plans, and they want to know now, and I if I tell them it's like they're very low now, uh, from where they were in with the DCA. So it's kind of hard if they don't put a little of study,
Yeah.
We had some good comment here, right, from Alan. I have it displayed here. The best time to learn is in a bear market. I think anyone can make money in a bull market. You learn and you understand in the hard times, like a bear market.
Yes,
I really want to
Absolutely.
highlight that.
Yeah.
absolutely.
Some of you mentioned, right, Susy, and I think Drip Girl also mentioned the same thing. So importance of learning and investing specifically now when everything is down.
Yeah.
So kind of follow up to that. I mean, we are not, obviously, disclaimer, none of us, I think, are financial analysts.
No,
And so we are not
Absolutely
giving
not.
anybody.
I'm certainly not.
Yeah, we're not giving financial advice. But I just wanted to kind of maybe pick your brain, guys, and see like what are your predictions about the state of the global state of the markets. So what do you think the market is going to do within the next 6 to 12 months? The market in general and crypto markets specifically, because love it or not, any of the projects that we are in, they're still tied to the global markets, right?
Yep.
So Drip or Animal Farm or some other DeFi projects that you might be in, they all get affected, and they do go up as everything goes up. So what are your kind of predictions about the state of the markets?
Go.
I think we're still in for a bumpy ride. And until Bitcoin halves, really, the market may slowly rise, but it's not going to be parabolic like it was in 2020 or 21. And the world as a whole, it's not looking too rosy out there. So we've got to take that into consideration, that there's inflation, unemployment, there's a whole heap of money being printed while countries are in lockdown, and now governments are trying to change that. And worse luck, the crypto market is going to be affected by it all.
Yeah.
And until Bitcoin halves, there's possibly not going to be much of a capitulation.
Yeah, I think that what you're saying, like all of this stuff that we've seen just going on in the global economy, like there's still stuff to be worked out. People are still, I think, having a harder time than they were years before, just getting back on their feet. So many businesses went under, the supply chain got wrecked. There's just a lot of stuff that's still in recovery. So I think we're not done seeing that in the total, the big picture. But I do think even with like the banks in the US collapsing, or, you know, and that type of discussion, I think opened up what just seeing a little bit of a bull run. I am expecting to see that in the next like month or two. I personally am looking for that. I'm waiting for that to happen. I think in the drip ecosystem, a lot of that also has to do with the things that are coming out with the Animal Farm as well as the drip drop draw. Like I think it's really, really beautiful timing. with there being a little burst of hope like that we've seen even on the Bitcoin charts where it's like on a rise, and I think we might see it rise a little bit, like you were saying, Cosmo, just a little, but a boost. And I think those of us who've been kind of waiting for that, I think we should, I personally am going to try and capitalize a little bit on that, but I do think it'll be not a long-term thing. So I think we need to be ready for that too, and just see until some of the market on the greater scale starts to turn around. Hopefully at the end of the year or even the beginning of next year. But I've been pleasantly surprised to see a little bit of a boost just in the past month. With Drip and with all the good like innovation stuff being coming out right now with the Piggy Plinko and the Drip Drop Draw. I think will give us a nice short term boost, and it'll get more eyes that will long term I think really benefit us, just in the long term. But I think we will see some of that short term. So personally, I'm optimistic about it. But yeah, not a financial advisor here, so remember.
You think you're muted.
Anybody else? Prediction for the crypto market and general?
Well, Perla, let's go.
Oh, go ahead, Susie.
Oh, okay, thank you. No, in global wise, I think the banking system is gonna change radically. In Argentina, we're going to have presidential elections this year. We're certainly things are going to change here, but I think it is like we have this. For me, it's like I'm seeing like there's the banking world that is one thing. There's crypto that is some other place, and we have the forex ecosystem. Because it's like it's separate for me in this way. It's like how I see it and how I experience that. Because here in Argentina there are very tough times, but because of forex, last week I was able to pay my credit card fully with the plans and didn't sell one drip. And it was $120. It's a lot. That covered all of my expenses, and so my plans I'm living because of my plans. And when I split the BUSD and the drip, I put the drip in the faucet. So it's like gain for me because of the strategies I put through 1 year and couple of months that I've been here. So I separate what happens with the banks, with crypto, and what happens with the ecosystem I'm investing, because of what I can I invest, my strategies, what I do, and and how I manage them. That's why I think the education is so important, because now I see like I have to pay some bills, and so okay, I took the time and saved some kind of some days of plans for the money that I need, uh, and then now I'm in another stage, like I'm putting more plants and more plants in and growing and growing and growing and growing my wallets and my drip faucets. And so I'm it's like I'm as some of you said, I took responsibility of my finances because of forex's ecosystem that allows me to do it. So it's like I live in another world, you know.
Yeah. I definitely agree that, as far as the global market, we're still going to have a a bumpy road ahead. I'm not a technical analyst or anything, but it's kind of be more so maybe like a boring-ish, time until we get that steady uprise. But it really, I'm really excited that because of the new products that we're gonna have for the forex ecosystem, the animal farm, we're gonna stand out, from everybody else. When everybody else
Yeah.
is probably maybe just going sideways, they'll see, that, hey, what's going on over here? So a lot of people, a lot of eyes are gonna turn around and like, hey, let's try and see what happens with this. And I really think that that will set us apart.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, I
Can you,
agree.
this is a tough one, but I'm gonna ask you guys. Do you think you can make predictions about the price of drip? Let's say maybe short term, maybe short term. Like, what do you expect the price of drip to be within the next 3 to 6 months?
Oh, I don't know.
That's a good one. Uh, I really don't like to give price predictions because it's like, Perla, you said this, and why aren't we here? But I can like, you gotta be
We will
patient.
not hold you accountable.
Like, I'm not a financial advisor, but I think that we're definitely gonna see some really nice price action in the next couple of months.
Yeah, it's very hard to say a number because it's like I don't know. It's like I'm seeing this all the things that are coming with like okay, it's gonna be better, you know. But mm, in another way, when I see what forex is presenting us, and in the chat when he talks in Stana Breeze's chat in Telegram, it's like he's always giving little alphas, and you see he's doing a lot of things that he is not telling us, like the other thing about poker, the poker game, and all the games that are coming, and Scratchy, and all of these things. So maybe it's gonna be more bigger than I thought. It's like now, okay, $3, $10, as Legacy is telling. Perfect. $15 would be fantastic for me and my plants. but but I think in the long run, again, I think that saying that we're gonna be surprised is the best prediction I can make. That
Build
we're
up your
gonna be
bags. Yep.
surprised.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like that. I would say, yeah, same thing. I don't like to do any predictions, but I mean, I think it'd be great to see, and I think it's possible to see like a $10 drip here pretty soon. But I do think going back to that kind of like steady growth, like I just think these innovations being added on are just going to keep growing it. So over time, I think what's being built today is really going to show up when the bull market hits again. And again, I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to happen probably until next year, but I do think we could see possibly a pump to maybe $10 when some of this stuff is like with the marketing that Forex plans to do that he was kind of teasing that he's put in. And man, the animal farm stuff looks so good. So for him to
Yeah.
start putting some of those teams on drip and some of the marketing that's going to come out for that, and like I don't know. I think we could see it pump up a little bit in a couple months or even sooner, hopefully. But um, I think we could see a little pump. But I wouldn't get depressed again if we go back down a little bit. That's why I was kind of saying I'm prepared for maybe a little pump so I can take a little bit of profits for now, but then continue grinding it out till we really see the bull market hit, and then we'll be happy.
No other predictions?
You put us on a hot seat there.
We had some interesting predictions in the comments.
Yeah, I can
We
see
had
that.
$1 million drip, $1.2 million drip. But I really,
That's awesome.
I really,
Yeah, I'm on board.
yeah.
You
But I
probably won't
really
see me.
Legacy 7 had some interesting, he says that's the number, so I don't know, maybe he's done some calculations, but I remember reading in the drip sustainability group on Telegram that a drip, it would be really good if the drip could be $4, $5, $6, $7, $10, because that type of price would ensure greater sustainability.
Yeah.
So if drip goes in double digits, now remember we have 3 million, almost 3 million, maybe more, kind of loose drip tokens in people's wallets are sitting there waiting to be sold. So if people see positive price action, like Drip Girl just said, well, you know, if it goes up a little bit, I'm ready to take some profits, and I'm sure a lot of people have that mindset. So, you know, since we have 3 million drip sitting in people's wallets, I think it would be very beneficial that actually if drip was able to sustain the maybe single digit price, but for longer period of time. Because my thinking here is that sustaining really high price for longer periods of time is difficult. Even with, you know, if we bring more people in, even if we have all new utilities, it would be a bit rough, just, you know, given the number of players, number of investors, and number of drip in the wallets to sustain some. But as some people said in the comments, you never know. But I think a lot of people would be happy if drip could be even $1 for 3 years. Or $5 for 2 years. A lot of people was like, yeah, I think that. I don't need 197. I don't need 1,000 or 5,000. Give me $5 for 2 years.
Yeah. Well, and I think Forex really, I mean, he's thought this through, and I love the way he designed the animal farm, and I think he's following up on that with the, well, I guess I can't give him the credit for the drip drop draw because that was the community, but he's instilled that mindset of teaching people, coaching them in the right behaviors of, if you know, you'll be incentivized to DCA, literally put in a tiny bit so you get put into that draw for a big deposit. So maybe people who just aren't depositing, that are in it now, just will get into that habit of doing so. And I think that, to your point, Crypto Professor Girl, is going to help keep that sustainability. It's just having that trained kind of behavior to be making those little investments, you know, along the way.
Yeah, and Forex always says that okay, praise the price. Sorry, the price going up. Of course, it's gonna be good, but you have to count the power of compounding, and that is so impressive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cosmo, are you still with us?
Yes.
Okay. What message? So we are getting close to our 2 hours, right? So and I thought, what message do you guys have for our audience out there? What concluding message? You know, what's the most important thing that you wanted to share with our listeners today?
Be patient and keep building your bags.
Yes. Use the time just to start building up your bank account, researching, you know, look into other things.
Yeah, same thing, same kind of thing. Keep educated, and keep the faith. You know, I always say Jesus is life, but I mean that. So
Yeah.
I mean that with my whole heart. So Jesus is life, but um, crypto is such an amazing opportunity. So I think we just need to keep the faith in what the projects that you have researched, and know that what you saw in them, other people will see too. And I really believe we found something great with Forex Shark and his innovation and his dedication to deliver. So, yeah, I would say just try and keep yourself educated so that you can help others. I think that's big. And if you don't, then find someone else to link arms with, even if it's literally like, I forget who mentioned it, but YouTube videos. Like, find someone that really explains things well that you can learn from and can
Yeah.
use to share other people with other people. But I think, we're gonna see this turn around here soon. So don't give up. Don't, lose out before you have a chance to win, is the way I see it. At the timing that I invested, like, I need to see prices go up before I can really win, like, big. And I do believe it's coming, and I'm willing to be patient and wait, and I'm not gonna fud out of it. And I just think it's gonna take that time and resilience. So I encourage other people to have that mindset as well, because I think you really are gonna walk away happy with the patience. So.
Amen to that.
Thank you. I think this was very beautiful, Drip Girl. I kind of, I wanted to piggyback here on your message where you said, don't forget that Jesus is life. I'm sure there are people from multiple religious traditions that are watching us. And I thought, it's so sad that crypto has this negative branding in a way, right? Like a lot of money laundering, criminal activities.
Yeah.
So it's associated with like kind of devil, right? With negative, with bad things. And maybe our mission here as women in DeFi can be, we can turn crypto around and DeFi around, that it's meant for good things, that it's meant to help people, to uplift families, to uplift people,
Yeah, yeah,
to get people where they want to be in life, right? So
yeah.
kind of spread positivity.
Yes,
So,
totally.
right. So kind of like putting a little bit of a spiritual spin here on our women in DeFi. And
Yeah,
thank you.
Amen.
and this,
Absolutely.
especially as women, we can give it, that woman touch. You know,
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Love it.
agree, and I agree with everything you said, ladies. And I want to say that when I came and I found Forex and I found uh, this magnificent ecosystem, but I found this community, and then I found I was looking for a place, a safe place to invest in crypto. But what I found, and I always say this, is what I found is a family. I found love. I found in the ladies of the faucet, especially in Lady Mania, a support, love, unconditional love, and all in all the ladies, but especially I've been friends with Lady Mania. She's the greatest heart in crypto. I always say. I think. I think in Ladies of the Faucet is a beautiful place. I feel so blessed to be here because I'm a person that uh, also, everybody needs money to live, to pay the bills and everything, but I'm a person that if I don't have anyone to share love that is unconditional love, that doesn't have an agenda, uh, or jealousy or envy because of we know, or because I'm smart. That's a curse. I live with all my life because I I am smart and people didn't like it. But I found everything I needed in the Ladies of the Faucet, and in this community. You guys, there's I see so many people I love in the chat. I don't want to leave anybody out, and girls and
Yes.
all
Yes.
legacy, uh, Lee, Drip, o sea, Drip was, o sea, there's so many persons that gave me so much love and support. So I found Forex is amazing. Is we have to we have I think the best thing that I learned in my life, one of the best thing I learned in my life is to be humble, to learn from the one from the people who know more than us, so we can learn, be humble, to learn from people like Forex, and from each of us in the community that knows a little more, a little
Yeah.
more. So because we teach each other, we help each other. The level of helping and the level of love, of supporting that is in this community, it is amazing beyond anything I saw in my life. So I think that the best thing I can do, and know I talk a lot, sorry, but because I'm very passionate, really love. I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed that I'm very excited being here with you guys. I really want to thank you. I want to thank you, all of you, for the invitation,
Thank you.
for hearing what I have to
Thank you.
say, and I think that we are very blessed to have Forex, of course, and on this magnificent business. That one thing that is very important here is the majority of us have the same interest, love, community, support, help, uh, being good for each other, supporting. So that is not a thing. It's not, it's not only because we're making money and that is great. We are making. We have so much more, and that is because I think kind of a group of people that are awakened, and spiritually. That's why I love um that you said Jesus is life, because I think God put us together. This is love. This is
Absolutely.
unconditional love.
Absolutely.
Forex is
Absolutely. Thank you so
unconditional love.
much. Thank you, Susie. I want to thank Susie S. I want to thank
Thank you.
Cosmo. I want to thank Perla Cryptos Cafe, Drip New Zealand who
Thank
left us, and Drip Girl, and of course Irene who was kicked out and got busy. Unfortunately, couldn't join us for the whole time. But I also wanted to thank all the people that were in chats. Give special shout outs to Ladies of the Faucet,
Woo!
especially
thank you,
Lady
everyone. Yep.
Maya, right, Ant's girl, my personal my personal trainer in crypto, Kelly Snook, everybody, and all the
Yeah.
wonderful men also in the chat that we could not even name all of them. We have
Yeah.
like 1 minute remaining, so I guess I'd have to end the broadcast. But thank you everybody, and I hope that you can join us again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you very
everyone.
much. I love
Okay,
you.
thank you guys.
Bye. Thanks, you
Bye.
guys.
Thank you. Bye bye.